Okay, how was everyone's winter break? Tell me all about it.
It was good. I didn't do much. I just stayed home. I hung out with my friends. But
Yeah, I would say there was a lot of just overall relaxing and taking that rest for myself, but also making sure I spend time with people that I care about.
It was long.
Yeah.
it was so nice having having a longer winter break.
I did nothing except sleep.
Oh,
You're
because I
sick.
was deathly sick.
Poor girl.
Actually dead. It's okay. It's okay.
I was literally healthy the whole entire school year, and I didn't get sick once, even though I thought I was, from the girls I babysit, just being around kids all the time. I help out in preschool, at school, J kids, and then I teach dance classes to preschoolers. I didn't get sick once from them, even though they're all their hands are in their mouth and they're half picking their nose, all that stuff. And then right after now, I feel myself getting congested, and I'm no.
Same. I woke up this morning and I'm
Yeah,
gosh.
if I start coughing, I'm sorry, but yeah.
And sore bugs going around.
Yes,
I've literally been
I
washing my
know.
hands every 5 seconds. I can't.
No, I've been
My
such a
friends are-
germaphobe.
My friends are sick, or we all had plans, and they're I can't go, I'm sick, and I was
I was with you yesterday.
yeah,
Scary. Scary out here. All right, well, enough about sickness. Welcome back to Against the Grain. My name is Sarah, and today we have a couple special guests with me. I'm so excited. We're going to talk about finding our identity in Christ rather than academics, which I feel is such a good topic, especially right now. I feel freshman, sophomore, it's fun, high school, it's not a big deal, nothing matters. But now it's things are getting real.
Yeah.
We're about to be adults and going to college. So, introduce yourself. Tell us what school you go to, college plans, major, whatever.
I can start.
Okay.
I'm Elleka. I am committed to going to Villanova for nursing.
Oh.
I'm Rosie. I haven't committed yet, but I'm waiting to hear back from some colleges. But I'm gonna major in marketing.
Me too. I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
thought you were
we'll
doing
talk about
PT.
I was, but
changed it.
that was an idea.
Okay.
We'll talk about
We'll
that.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Samara. I'm a junior, so I'm kind of thinking about college, but I know I want to major in psych,
Okay.
so I'm excited.
All right. Cool. Elleka, Villanova process has been quite the journey. Yeah. I think I've seen it play out in full. So tell us about that, because I think that definitely built your faith a lot.
Yeah, so with Villanova, I feel I've always wanted to go there. My dad went there. He works there now. I was always saying, in first grade, I'm going to Villanova. That's my plan. But I don't think it really hit me how hard it was going to be to get there until probably sophomore, junior year, because Innovate just doesn't really count. But, yeah, I think I figured out that I want to do nursing probably end of junior year, senior year, and decided that I was going to do literally everything possible to get there. So I took all the APs, did all the things. It was a lot. Junior year, honestly, senior year was probably the worst just because I took 3 APs. But, yeah, and so I did the application process, lot of stress. I don't know if you probably start applying. It's a lot.
I did all my applications.
Yeah, it's super stressful writing essays. I was literally having Sarah read it 5 times over and over. So yeah, and then the biggest part, and honestly the whole process that really changed my thinking, was when I got a message from the head of admissions, and I was with you the next day, so Sarah knows this whole story. But telling me that I needed to submit a screenshot of my grades, which wouldn't.
Wait, so we're in Cape May.
Yes.
Oh,
We're at the beach.
Okay, Cal.
Oh yeah, you were gonna come with us, weren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would. Yeah,
Yes, you would have
okay,
been there.
Yeah.
And she starts freaking out. We're just walking on the beach.
It was just an email from that.
No, they contacted my dad, who told me
Oh my
that
gosh.
I needed to send a screenshot of my grades.
Your current, the current ones you have.
Yes,
That's
whatever
so,
I had.
What?
Yes, and I found out the day before we went to KMA, right?
No, I think it was when we were at Cape. Or wasn't it you
No, I
got
think it was
one
the-
bad grade and that dropped your grade? But if you would have
Was it the
waited,
day? No, it was
if you would
the
have
day
waited,
before.
if you would have not pushed it off,
Yes.
then you would have had a higher grade.
So okay, yes. I should
Share your
have.
story.
I should have submitted this screenshot like a month prior, but my counselor told me that I needed to take a screenshot of just like my courses, not my actual grades. So she kind of like messed that up for me a little bit there, but besides the point. But I'm taking AP Stat, and
Oh my gosh, I'm taking that.
really actually bad at math, so I don't know what was going through my mind at that point. But I failed a bunch of tests and got a C at the end of the quarter, flipped out, cried to all my friends at school. And then that day that I found out I got a C in the quarter was also just happened to be the day that I got the email from Villanova. So going through this process was obviously really hard because I'm like, oh, like my whole futures were in because of that one grade. Like, no, it's over. Like, they're not gonna want me if I have a C. Like, that's crazy.
That's not true. Because I do want you.
But, well, the acceptance rate, like everyone, my dad was the only one that was being real with me because the acceptance rate was so low. Like, there's 120 spots maybe. And everyone's like, oh, like, you're gonna get in, my dad was like, I don't know, like, this is not
I
ideal.
always knew she was getting in.
Okay, whatever. So,
luck
yes,
charm?
I had to go through that whole
I
process.
said maybe you were her good luck charm.
Maybe she was. So, yeah, cried for a couple days, freaked out at Cape May. I ended up emailing my teacher saying, like, literally, is there anything I can do? My stat teacher said there wasn't, so that was lovely.
Okay.
But, yeah, I submitted the screenshot after lots of processing, praying, like, all the things, and then it was just, waiting game. And then, actually, the day I found out, kind of funny story, I was I'm doing nursing, and so my mom's friend reached out to me asking if I could help with physical therapy for someone that their insurance dropped. So I was going to help with physical therapy for the first time, an hour away. The guy who was supposed to come, like, help me with this didn't show up for, like, an hour. And I'm, like, stressing out, first of all, because it's my first time being there, and also because I got the email from Villanova saying that
Your portal's been updated?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
She wouldn't
like,
update.
no.
Oh, she wouldn't open it.
No, I wouldn't open it because if it was a no,
was
then
bad,
I
then
didn't want, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I
long
was
story
freaking
short,
out.
freaked out.
And then my mom
for,
starts texting her, like,
Yeah,
oh,
she
go
did.
open
Her
up the
mom
email.
texted
Like,
me.
we want to know.
Literally everyone.
And we
says
all
no.
we had dinner. We're like praying for elleka. She's at PT.
No.
She
Oh,
got it.
Because I feel like for the colleges that, like, I heard back from,
Yeah.
when you get that email, like, your heart just starts
Oh, yeah.
racing because it's like, it's just so nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
I got mine at dance, like, one of them, and I was like, like, started to, like, hyperventilate, and I was like, I can't open it now, though, because, like, I can't let this distract me, so I put it
Yeah.
off, but it's
Literally,
so
that's what I did.
nerve-wracking.
Right.
Yes.
Especially when it's from like a school
my
that
gosh.
you
Yeah, and I couldn't even imagine if it was, like, my
wanting to
top choice,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, man, I'd be losing my marbles.
I was flipping out. But yeah, hour-long drive home also, so that didn't really help.
and just,
got
like,
home.
gives you time to think.
Oh,
I
yeah,
hate
exactly. I'm like freaking
Yeah, I
out,
feel
crying,
you.
doing all the things. And then I ended up opening it, and then I got in, as you know.
we're
big
so
deal.
happy for you.
But yeah, it was a long, hard process, and it was very draining. But I mean, it did end up working out for what I wanted, but like also, like if it, this is kind of going into some of the questions, but like if it didn't, there would have been a different plan for me. And like I realized that after, but like obviously in the situation, if I didn't get in, like I would have been like crushed.
Right.
yeah.
So that's really hard.
What would you say to like your peers who maybe didn't get into the top school?
I don't know. I mean,
Because you can't relate because you're in.
yeah, it's hard. It's hard for me to say to you
Yeah.
because you're obviously gonna be like, oh, like you got in, like,
Right.
but like my whole thinking before opening that letter, I was like, what if I get in? Like, what if people are like super like everyone was saying I was gonna get in, so if I didn't, like, are they gonna be upset? Like, are they gonna be like they're gonna look at me like in a different way because you know what I mean? Like, this is all something that goes through anyone's brain. That's like, you know what I like. I'm sure you
Yeah, I
guys.
know what you mean.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was a lot of pressure. So I would say it's, like, it's hard to think about when you're going through this process, but, like, there really is, like, a better plan. If I didn't get into Villanova, I knew that, like, wherever I ended up, I was going to be doing something better than, like, I even imagined. And even going to Villanova, like, I'm going to be doing something there, like, that's going to be better than, like, anything else I could have had in my head.
God's putting you there for a reason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like there's a plan that I don't even
Yeah.
know. Like I have no control over it. And
Exactly.
neither does anyone else
Yeah.
that like is going through this process. Like you're gonna be put where you need to be. basically is my.
Exactly.
I always knew you were gonna get in.
Thanks. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, let's get into some questions because I want to hear about your stories too. Can you guys share a moment where your identity felt tied to your achievements or grades?
I would say like what you were saying about math, how it was very like discouraging with those grades. I would say not a specific moment, but just like moments where I'm getting these math grades because math is the one subject that I really struggle with. And whenever I get one of those grades, if it's bad, which it usually is, and I kind of expect it, but it still makes me feel so much less. And I really let that define me as a person. And I also let it define my other grades. Like I could have A's in all my other classes, but that C in math makes me feel like I'm like failing.
No, like I feel
It's like
the complete same
discouraging
way.
because
Yeah.
it's just like you can be doing so good. Like literally the same with me in math too, bro. Like, hello, math is just I hate math, but that's I could talk about that another time. But like it's just discouraging. It like puts me down, and then it like affects my mood. It affects my day, and then it just like my mindset gets like switched, and like my mentality about like going to school then and like walking into that class. It's just like I know I'm not gonna enjoy it, and then it like you don't feel good about yourself. And I feel like it's hard because it's like, I bet like we're all studying hard, like we're all trying, like nobody wants to have these bad grades. It's not like you go in like, yep, ready just to bomb another test and be happy. And so it's like hard because it's like I'm putting in so much effort, but like it's like hard to get like a good outcome. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
But
exactly what I felt. Yeah.
I feel like for me, it was like, as long as I knew that I was trying and like putting the work in, regardless of like if I get a good test grade or a bad test grade or whatever in the class, like I think it's more just like the work ethic behind it. Do you know what I mean?
No, I think
Yeah.
that shows.
Because I feel like if you go in just like ready to fail, like that doesn't help you at all.
Yeah.
But
And I
it's
feel
like,
teachers can see that too.
yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I mean, obviously your stat teacher wasn't very nice.
Well, like it wasn't not nice. He was more just like, there's nothing I can really do for you, but you're doing fine. Like I know it's a C,
I know,
She
but
was
And, like,
encouraging
he
you.
Yeah.
was encouraging a little bit. But like, especially with tests, like I know you can probably relate with AP Stat. Like it's just so much studying ahead of time. It completely changes me.
And
like
at least for me, it's a lot of like she'll give us the outline
Yeah.
of what we're supposed to say. Because stat is more like
Yes.
for me writing more
Yeah.
than numbers. She'll give us like an outline of what our answers should be, and you have to like memorize
it.
them.
Yep. It's a lot. And then if I like go out of the test thinking I did bad, like my whole day is ruined.
That's what I'm
My whole
saying.
day-
It's
like, my
just
whole
like
mood is
messes
just,
up like your mind,
Yeah.
and like it's just hard to then like focus on anything or like be positive about other stuff when there's so much like it's like my brain is so like fogged up and cloudy just from like numbers,
Exactly. Yeah.
and I'm
No,
like,
yeah.
what is going on? But
Like I took a stat test the day before winter break, and we got it the day after. I'm like, okay, so this is not a great way to start my winter break.
Terrible.
That is terrible.
I was
What
like, are
teacher
you
would do that?
my
Yeah,
stat
that's
a math teacher.
That's awful.
All right, next question. How has your relationship with Jesus influenced how you view success and failures?
For me, I feel like when I was dealing with like failures or things that would, or like trying to overcome like an obstacle, at first it was like, why is this happening? Or like, why am I like not doing as good as I want to? But like now I feel like having a relationship with Jesus has like helped me understand that like everything that happens for a reason. It's like a failure is just to really like help you learn. Do you know what I mean? And so it's like every bad thing like usually has a good outcome, and so it's like that learning process and like learning then how to deal with like the bad things that happen in school or like dealing with like a bad grade. I feel like I don't know.
For me, I was gonna say like, yes, like I completely agree with that. But also like everything I do isn't for me. Like this isn't to make myself feel better. Like it's to end up like glorifying God in the end. Like I'm doing all of this to like fulfill what He wants me to be here doing. Like not what I want to do, not what my plan is. Like it's for like
His kingdom, like his
Yeah.
glory,
His
not
glory,
ours.
not mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that helps a lot.
And I agree with what both of you were saying, and it also like something I would add is it like brings me peace knowing that like I'm not trying to crave the validation of grades. I'm trying to crave the validation of Him, and I know if He sees that I'm trying and I'm putting all this effort in order to do my best, then that will please him. And as long as I want him there for the journey, like that's enough. And I think I've really started to notice that.
I'm like, he literally created us with imperfections. Do you know what I mean? Like, nobody is perfect. Obviously, in Genesis, right off the bat, like, the apple is eaten. And so it's like, we're born with failures and, like, imperfections. And so you can't hold ourselves to that standard that's like, everything has to be perfect. We have to be perfect at school. We have to do this and this and this. Because it's like, God sees our effort. God sees us putting in the work. And so as long as, like, we're leaning on him for our strength and going to him with the things, not our, well, I was gonna say our failures again, but I was trying to think of a different word, but like those hardships and stuff and obstacles, like instead of our own understandings, then he'll help us through them.
Yeah. I think Elleka actually looks like my best friend, obviously.
Yeah.
We're also very different, and I'm not. I do not find my identities in academics, to say the least.
Okay.
I find them in other places. Elleka's the A student, I'm the B student here.
Sarah, I'm more like you. I'm a B student with you.
I don't know about that, girl.
No.
But anyway,
You're not even a B student.
I'm not.
You're
I'm
not.
like a B plus student.
No, that's me.
But I was in DECA, which is like our business school at East. Do you guys have that?
We don't, but I know what it is.
So we compete for like this business stuff. And I said to Elleka, like, if I don't make it to States, like I'm gonna lose my mind, because my like category was marketing, or communications and marketing, which is my two majors that I want to double major in. And like if I don't make it, I'm gonna rethink my whole life. And I'm like, this is literally Elleka. Like Elleka finds it in like the letter grade, whereas I find my identity in like, did I make it to States or not?
Yeah.
So it's like very similar where I'm like, okay, even if I don't make it, then like God is like has a different plan for me and just a redirection. But like at the time it was like, oh my gosh, like this is my plan right now.
It's like stressful too, though, because I feel like you place everything in like wanting to, you know, achieve that goal or like make that whatever. But it's like it just like is stressful. Yeah. But it's like you have to have that constant reminder that, again, like what you said, Elleka, like we're not doing it for ourselves. We're doing everything we do should be to glorify him. So like knowing that like God already has the plan and like he knows what's gonna happen next. He'll put us where we need to be in life. Like it's just like a good reminder.
Last question. How has finding your identity in Christ brought freedom or peace into your life?
I think that for me, like having good grades isn't gonna get us into heaven. Like at the end of the day, that's not what's getting us to heaven. And so for me, it's just like brought peace because I know that like God already has a plan for us. Do you know what I mean? And like obviously we should strive to like do well in school, but it's like that ultimately is not gonna be what's getting us into heaven as long as we're doing everything in life to glorify him and like give him the praise.
And I think almost finding more of my identity in Christ rather than academics has almost made me want to succeed more so I can glorify him more. It's given me more of a drive and a motivation, not so much to worry about the number or the letter on this paper that I'm getting back, but more to show him that like I'm putting the work in.
We shouldn't seek validation from school or other people or grades or teachers, but it should just be in Jesus because, yeah.
To add to that, like, I would say, like, just knowing that it's like, I don't understand. Okay, I've said this to Sarah before. I don't understand how people go through their life without Jesus.
Exactly.
Like, I'm so
me too. I said this the other day.
Like I talk to Sarah about this all the time.
Yeah.
We're like, how do people do it? Like, how do people?
I don't know
like,
how people just. It's like I could never handle something by myself.
No.
I think I would drive myself. I would drive myself crazy because I drive myself crazy even having Jesus fully in my life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I couldn't imagine. First of all, like not believing in God and just like having to carry everything on my back.
It's so.
I don't know how people do
so
that.
much like.
I feel like
yeah.
you just would get burned out, and it's just exhausting having to carry that all by yourself.
No, exactly.
Exactly, because like when I feel like I get a bad grade, I know that there's unconditional love and acceptance still there.
Right.
As much as I might feel down on myself, I know he will still unconditionally love me and accept me.
Yeah. And then like people who don't, like, what do you look to once you like if you find your whole identity in grades, then like
I've literally talked about this so many times too. Like we need to all have a debrief about this because I am 100% with you.
Yeah, I would honestly rather have like the peace and like joy that God gives me than the letter grade or than the like acceptance to DECA or whatever. Like that is so much more fulfilling than like this like, and at the end of the day, that's not gonna matter.
Yeah.
Like what you got in math isn't gonna.
Exactly. Like 10 years from now, like
Yeah.
this is how I think about
Yeah.
stuff. I'm
No,
like,
I'm like,
am I really
yes.
gonna be that upset about this in 10
Yeah.
years? Like, I'm gonna see all the things that happen because,
Yeah.
like, every
Exactly.
little thing, every little like bad thing that's gonna happen, like, I'm gonna look at it and be like, oh my gosh, like that's why that happened. That's like, if I didn't go through that, then
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been.
Right. I think
Here.
about that, like in my past, like I see God's hand in every single like step. Like I was like so confused at the time, but like I see Him now, and I'm like, okay, he's nothing has changed. It's gonna be the same thing in 4 years when I'm done college. Like, oh, I saw Him in every single step.
Also,
like the application process.
Yeah.
No, you're fine.
Like God gives people so many gifts, but like so your gift might not be like intelligence or like in academics, but it's like He'll bless you with so many other things that that can help bring people to His kingdom. Do you know what I mean? So it's like we shouldn't need to find our validation through the letter grade, the academics, like all that, because everyone has like their own spiritual gift or like gift that He blesses you with, and so that'll help. Like that's what'll get you into heaven. Like. But also Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declared the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, but to give you a hope, a future and a hope." And so, like, right off the bat, that verse literally says it all. Like, He knows the plans He has for us, and like not for evil, but to give us a future and a hope.
Exactly.
Like that, literally. Hello.
Also, like a song that came to mind as I was like looking through these questions last night was "The Blood," and it's like.
Yes.
It's a bit about
Performance,
performance.
perfection,
Perfection.
striving,
Love
for
that.
acceptance.
And I was like saying it.
Let's go. It's like my song.
It's so funny.
Yes.
But like
That
it
song.
like kept playing over and over in my head. Like
especially that verse.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like-
so good.
It just
It's so
resonates
powerful.
with me so
Yeah.
much. It is so powerful. Yeah.
I think this is the perfect way to end.
that was-
Thank you so much for listening. We will see you on Wednesday at 6:30 here at ccdelco. And yeah, peace out.
Bye.